right, welcome back. Time for some Coach JB. Do I want to start by feeding JB a plate of crow, or do I want to start by asking JB whether this Super Bowl was any good or not? I'm gonna save the best for last. Before I serve him the Patrick Mahomes crow, JB, let's start here. Was that a good football game we watched last night?
No, it was horrific. I was walking around my Super Bowl party, Steve, Kim, and many others, and I'm like, is this a good game, Steve? And they're like, looking at me, and I'm like, name me a play that stuck out, that you're like, oh, wow, great game, great play. You saw a gimmick play you had to design for CMC, and that was basically the oohs and the ahs you got. There wasn't a touchdown over 21 yards in the football game. And I think this is the norm. This is what we are accustomed to seeing now, especially this season. It was the worst football season I've been a part of in 48 years. So it was rough to watch, man. I'm going to be honest. I think mediocrity is the new excellence. And I think people see a close game and automatically think it's good. And I think the betting world has ruined the sport. And I say that for this reason, Jason. Fantasy fans that play DraftKings and all these betting apps, they're fanboys. And Patrick Mahomes will get them 47 points on their draft board and their fantasy board. And then the fans think that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest thing ever. But they haven't watched a down of film like I do. And they automatically think that Mahomes got them 47 points. They automatically think these guys are the greatest. And that is the problem we're seeing. It's true. And I've broken it down. It's bad to watch right now, I'm going to be honest.
There is no highlight play. There is no great catch. There is no great run where someone broke 3 tackles and picked up a first down. There is no circus play, I don't think, from Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy escaping trouble and hitting someone down the field on some critical 3rd down play or 4th down play. There is no signature. The signature moments are the fumbles, the muff punt, Travis Kelce going after Andy Reid. Those are the commercials. He gets his commercials. Those are the signature, most memorable moments from this game. I can't remember a Super Bowl. There's no incredible 4th down stop. I don't know what the signature play is other than a bunch of errors that include Kyle Shanahan's, coaching error, where he's now given up 3 double-digit leads, or been a part of giving up 3 double-digit leads in the Super Bowl. That's kind of what this Super Bowl is going to be remembered for, or I guess Patrick Mahomes' 3rd Super Bowl, Andy Reid's 3rd Super Bowl. But this was not a great football game. When I was on your show earlier this morning, you asked a phenomenal question. What happened yesterday? Did Kyle Shanahan blow another game, or did Andy Reid demonstrate his coaching brilliance again? What do you think was most powerful, Andy Reid's brilliance or Kyle Shanahan's negligence and willingness to abandon the run?
So Eric Weddle came out. We had a loaded show. I appreciate you coming on today. We broke this down. And Super Bowl champs, Greg Townsend, Eric Weddle, Tank Johnson, who's been in a Super Bowl, they all were like the same thing. You and I discussed this morning. 9-3. Remember that number. 9 passes to 3 runs to start the second half for Kyle Shanahan. 9-3. When you control the line of scrimmage, you get CMC more than 21 touches in a game of this magnitude, who makes $30 million, by the way. You're paying a guy $30 million. I would probably feed him and carry this thing on the back. Because to be honest with you, CMC to get 1 vote for the MVP is a travesty in its own right. That's a whole nother discussion. But we clearly think that CMC carries the load on that team, correct? I think you would take CMC over Brock Purdy to carry the roster and the load, because we've seen when CMC goes out of the game, what happens to that Niners offense. And we also see Debo and Ayuk going out. We see again why this quarterback is being sprinkled out there as a game manager, not a game changer. Well, we clearly saw that last night. Purdy didn't play horribly bad, but he didn't make any plays to win a game. And that's what the greats do. And Shanahan just continues to do things that we wonder, like, this guy should have 3 Super Bowls and probably 4 as a coordinator if you really just run the football. It's really that simple. And it blows my mind that we continue to see him do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result, which is the definition of insanity. So I'm confused as to why people think this guy is any good. I think he's a hype and a bust. I've been saying it for years. He blows every big game. He has an incredible roster. If you compare the 2 rosters, their roster it's not even close, from linebacker to D-line to pass rusher to running back to receivers. Kittle is very comparable. If you want to compare him to Kelsey, he's a better all-around tight end, in my opinion, as an inline blocker, much better than Kelsey. Kelsey wants no part of that. And you don't give him the ball, Jason. You don't feed Kittle the ball at all with a quarterback that we're all calling a game manager. Guess who helps game managers? Tight ends. They're close to the vest. They're close to the line of scrimmage. It's easier throws. It's the safety net for my quarterback who's inexperienced. Why don't we get Kittle the ball? I think Kittle had 13 targets the entire playoff run. 3 games, Jason, 13 targets. I don't think he had 100 yards, and I am shocked that we continue to call Shanahan a guru. I just don't get it. I said it months ago, Jason, and I said Lynch and Shanahan are failing at a miserable rate because this roster, top to bottom, has probably been the best over the last 3 or 4 years. They have nothing to show for it, and it's like putting hubcaps on a Rolls Royce. The hubcap is Brock Purdy. And you dropped the ball when you could not go get Aaron Rodgers, because I don't want to hear salary cap being the issue. Oh, that's not how salary cap works, JB. Really? Well, how'd the Rams do it and win a Super Bowl? How'd the Bucks do it and win a Super Bowl? How'd the Chiefs done it for 3 years out of 4 years and paid a guy $500 million and done it? There's ways to manipulate the cap and move it around and get you a superstar at that position. They failed. Garoppolo, Trey Lance, and now Brock Purdy. Listen, we love Brock Purdy's story. Mr. Irrelevant, first time, could have won a Super Bowl and all that, but he didn't. He didn't, and that's who he is. And he's hidden by a hell of a roster, Jason, and this shows you who he really is. You got to have a superstar at quarterback, Jason. Look at the league. Who wins?
Well, Cam Newton's winning right now. He's gloating and saying, I told y'all he was a game manager and y'all overreacted. I know someone who probably should be wearing a Chiefs Kingdom t-shirt right now, who is ordered up a big helping of humble pie, some crow here. Are you ready to crown Patrick Mahomes as a great, great quarterback? This 3 Super Bowls, JB? 2 MVPs, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. JB.
Listen, it comes with a sad heart. I come with a sad heart today. I was in a no-win situation. I'm a Ram LA guy. 49ers and the Northern Californian hated ones. I couldn't get out of there with them winning. Then I got this fan base, obviously I got a million DMs right now. Everybody wants to do everything to me, right? So anyway, listen, I believe that I stand for what exemplifies Jason Whitlock. Stand for what you stand for. Speak your mind. Speak for who you are. I think I should do that. I do that for everybody. Am I supposed to jump on the bandwagon of this guy because others say so? See, I watch film and break it down. Listen, can we be fair on this show right now? Can there be 2 things that are true? Can he be a hell of a great winning quarterback, but not a great, great quarterback? Is there such a thing? Do you think I can even bring that up? Can I say that, Jason? Because right now he's the winning guy. I'm putting up no question. He's winning. But is he really great? That's his first 300-yard Super Bowl. Took him overtime to get it. He's barely thrown more touchdowns and picks in his 4 Super Bowls. He's been the most underachieving quarterback to win Super Bowls in those particular 4 games. And I can't put him as the GOAT or even in a conversation when you lost to a 40-year-old Tom Brady 3 times. And that wasn't even the good Tom Brady, Jason. That was the bad Tom Brady over the hill. So I can't put him in that category of greatness. Now, he's tied Troy Aikman, one of my all-time favorites. He's tied him with 3 Super Bowls. He's up in the top conversation now, chasing Bradshaw, Montana, and those guys. So he's 28, Jason. All I can do is eat crow as the years go by. But I think it's fair to give a guy 10 to 12 years of greatness before we anoint him on this Mount Rushmore. That's all I'm saying. And if I got a very interesting take before you go back and try to attack me on this. There's 3 guys on that roster, and I'm going to give them to you. Please put them in order. Andy Reid, Spagnuolo, Patrick Mahomes. Go.
I would go.
You should be able to say Mahomes right away if he's that great.
No, because Andy Reid, everywhere he goes, I think I could play quarterback for Andy Reid everywhere he goes. So I put Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and then Spagnuolo. But putting Patrick Mahomes a cut below Andy Reid, that's no insult. Andy Reid may end up being the best of the best. He may pull off a three-peat, which has never been done in the NFL. And he wins with everybody. But I don't think that's any slight saying that Andy Reid, I'd put a slight cut above Patrick Mahomes at this point.
I agree. I mean, Andy's, to me, one of the top 3 ever. I think he's the best play caller ever, especially as a head coach and play caller. I think he's the best ever. I don't know if he's announced he's coming back or not. I know you on the show today, three-peat in the loom here is hard to turn down. I've seen it before, though, where guys walk away on top. I wouldn't be shocked either. But I think he'd come back to try to get the three-peat. But after Kelsey hits him and the Swifties and all this drama that you have to deal with now, and we're seeing coaches mass exodus, college football. I think coaches realize this is a harder and harder game to coach because of the player empowerment we have and allow now. We've allowed it instead of coached it. Travis Kelce bumping that guy like that hurts my eyes and heart to see that. I just can't fathom the player empowerment.
Hold for a second, JB. You're getting ahead of me. Because I'm about to go there. Just give me 1 second. Before that, I want to take care of one of our great sponsors. Good Ranchers is back with us. It's the month of love, and that gets us all thinking about one thing: bacon. Everyone loves bacon, and they really love free bacon, which means you're going to love getting free bacon for a year from Good Ranchers, the #1 American meat delivery company. Subscribe to any of their 100% American meat boxes, and they'll add 1.5 pounds of Applewood smoked bacon to your order free. Not once, not twice, but every order for a year. This is an expertly smoked Heritage Prime slices of the best 100% American bacon you've ever had. Good Rancher sources all of their pork, every other cut they sell. Local farms, ranches, meaning you can, every time you bite, you're supporting an American family. Simply go to goodranchers.com, pick your box, use my code FEARLESS, and enjoy $240 of free bacon. Stock your fridge with easy-to-prepare, delicious American meat all year long. Not sure which box to choose? I love their brand new weekly essentials box full of pre-trimmed beef and chicken that helps my meal prep, so you can save time without sacrificing flavor. Fall in love with beef, chicken, seafood, and especially bacon all over again by subscribing at goodranchers.com. Make sure to subscribe today and use my code FEARLESS to claim $240 in free bacon. Man, are we happy to have Good Ranchers back with us. Goodranchers.com, American meat delivered. JB, now I want to move to Travis Kelce running up on Andy Reid. I thought this was incredible, seeing it. I thought I was blown away that Jim Nantz and Tony Romo just kind of blew past it and didn't dwell on it. I was really shocked at halftime when it wasn't discussed, and Nate Burleson, for some reason, jumped in and stopped anybody from talking about it. players are just completely protected. There is no standard of behavior that we hold them to. You just take it all. They make more money than the coaches. The media is all on their side. You can't question them. You can't criticize them. You're a sellout. You're an Uncle Tom. You're a player hater. Everything's hate, 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 hate if you criticize any player. Travis Kelce deserves some criticism, I thought, yesterday. The Chiefs played without composure, and I think Travis was a big part of that. They got away with it because San Francisco blew the game. But your thoughts seeing Travis Kelce nearly shove over one of the greatest coaches in NFL history?
I just have a thing, like, where's the integrity of the actual person? Like, the humans that walk the earth now have lost their way. We have no integrity anymore. We have no self-respect. We don't respect ourselves. How are we going to respect someone like Andy Reid? We already know what Kelce's about and what he's done. People call him sellout, whatever they want to do. He has no self-respect because you can't have self-respect and go out and lack and then expect him to respect Andy Reid or any other figure or father figure, mentor, or coach for that matter. There's no pecking order. There's no hierarchy anymore, Jason. This is a player empowerment driven profession. Basketball, NBA, football, NFL, baseball, you name it. We've given them so much money, and we started with an inch. They took a foot. We gave them a yard. Now they took a mile. And that is where we are in this whole thing. And it's hard to watch because without hierarchy, we know we wouldn't have government. We wouldn't have anything. And this is the same for football. It's the same for professional sports. This guy thinks he's bigger than the team, and he can do what he wants because no one's going to do anything. I got a very interesting deal on this, though. They didn't talk about that. They literally just talk over it like nothing happened. Just slap in the face to the coaching profession and a legend, a guy that stuck up for you, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, by the way, that you just slapped in the face, basically. But McCall Hardman won the game. And I want to ask you what was worse, the Kelce thing not being discussed as basically being a piece of you-know-what, or McCall Hardman, who was with the Jets earlier, who was with the Chiefs last few years, comes back to the Chiefs, wins the game, and they go choose Taylor Swift in the press box. They don't even go and discuss the fact of what this guy just did to win a Super Bowl, how he came back from the Jets, how he sacrificed and did all this. He scores, and they go straight up to Swift. And I'm like, what part of the game is this? Like, why are we not showcasing this guy for winning the game and showing Andy Reid and showing all this?
I got an answer. Because, JB, they know the game is trash. And so they're not trying to put a lot of attention and focus on the game. Everything is about the ancillary stuff. Everything's about who was there. Again, it was just like Nate Burleson at the beginning. Jay-Z, the greatest rapper alive, and here's LeBron, here's this person, that person, here's Luke Combs. And this is what drove me crazy about the NBA. It became more about who was sitting courtside than who was actually playing on the court. And it's why the NBA is such trash, and it's just a highlight league that you put out social media clips. No one really watches. No one pays attention. The NFL's headed the exact same direction. We're not paying attention because of fantasy, because of gambling, and because of, it's just a fun, it's a party. But the actual content is no good. It's not, and I'm not trying to disrespect the players that are playing now, but when people were watching that game last night, if you couldn't see, that was the sloppiest Super Bowl that perhaps I've ever seen. There were no winning plays. There were plays of people giving the game away, but no one actually went out and took that game. And they don't want you talking and focusing on any of that because they know the product's no good. It's like a woman that wraps a sweater around her vest and ties it around her hips. She's trying to conceal that, I'm carrying an extra 20, 25 pounds. It's not a fashion statement. It's done to conceal them extra pounds she's holding on her hips. And that's what you got going on in the NFL.
Let me ask you this real quick. Mahomes has basically stopped others from getting rings. That's what he's done. That's where I will say he's winning. He's taking rings away from others. A flip side, though, if Shanahan's not incompetent as a head coach, if Andy Reid's the 49ers head coach, they would have took 2 rings from Mahomes. Mahomes lost to Brady. He would have 1 ring possibly out of 4 appearances. Let's just be honest. If Shanahan runs the football, we're talking about a complete different narrative. We're talking about Mahomes being a bust. So the line is very the line, well,
we ain't talking about him being a bust.
Maybe not a bust. I'll retract. Maybe not a bust. But we're talking about a guy who's underachieved. That's what we're saying about Shanahan. I mean, we're saying if Mahomes only won 1 Super Bowl out of 4, Jason, what would you
That's
call
not
it?
Underachieving. That's not underachieving. 1 Super Bowl is not underachieving.
He's a winning guy.
God, what was he, the 10th pick? He wasn't the number 1 overall pick, JB.
No, but
Peyton Manning only won 2 Super Bowls, right?
Who?
Peyton Manning only won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, and his stats weren't great.
Winning Super Bowls is hard.
It is. That's why
Super Bowls is hard.
2-0. Eli's 2-0.
JB, I'm gonna let you go. Until next year, until we feed you some more crow. Although I may bring. Are you watching any of the women's college basketball? Are you watching Caitlin Clark? I may have to bring you on to talk about that. Her coach. This is fascinating. You need to be paying attention. This is great. She's great content. Her coach, Lisa Bluter at Iowa, made a fool of herself after blowing that game. She wanted Caitlin Sunday. She blew the game. She wants Caitlin Clark to break the scoring record at home, and so the first half of the 4th quarter, she held Caitlin Clark back, and that ended up costing them the game. And then Lisa Bluter melted down after the game. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm big into this one. I'm big into the Caitlin Clark story. I'll bring you on to talk about it at some point. JB. Yeah. All right. Thank you, JB. Great job, as always.